with the tax hikes and spending cuts set to come into effect in the new year. And J.P. Morgan's Robert Mellman says the Thomson Reuters University of Michigan's final December reading on consumer sentiment tumbled nearly 10 points from November.
What I'd read into it is concern about fiscal policy debates, and I think dysfunction in Washington more than anything else, and maybe the prospect of higher taxes, certainly higher payroll taxes at the beginning of next year.
No stalled talks affecting the market this morning. The Dow Industrial's down 109 at 13,202. The Nasdaq's down 32. The S&P 500 off 12. Virtual doctor visit services, which connect patients and doctors via online video or phone, are moving into the mainstream as insurers and employers are increasingly willing to pay for them. But today's journal says such services are generating tension with some state regulators and some doctor groups. And this is the Wall Street Journal report.
Did you know that certain gold and silver coins can be added to your retirement accounts? It's a fact. For years, investors have been adding popular coins like the gold and silver American Eagles to their IRAs and old 401ks. More importantly, gold and silver have quadrupled in value within the past 10 years. Major banks and credible analysts around the world are forecasting even more demand for both gold and silver in the coming years. Isn't it about time for you to consider adding gold to your retirement accounts? When it comes to adding physical metals to your retirement accounts, no one makes it easier and faster than American Bullion. Call now for your free gold guide at 800-664-8864. Find out how to add U.S. minted gold and silver coins to your IRA and old 401k. Call the most trusted name in the industry today, American Bullion. 800-664-8864. Call for your free gold guide. 800-664-8864.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And welcome to the Home Repairs and Solutions Show, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air. And your hosts today are Mark Withers, Mary Peterson, and Nathan Peterson. And here's Mark and Mary.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What a gorgeous day.
It is. Compared to yesterday morning?
Compared to yesterday. Yes, sir, buddy.
At least the sun's out. That helps.
Yeah, the sun is shining. Boy, that always makes you feel good. But you know what we always
does.
say? The sun's always shining every Friday morning right here at Home Repairs and
That's
Solutions.
right.
Regardless what it's doing out there, sun shines in the air.
That's right. And you know what I learned on the radio coming in today? I was listening, and this is going to be the shortest day for daylight hours.
Yeah, we were talking about that at the coffee shop this morning. Yeah.
So if you're out and about, enjoy the sunshine today. It's going to be the shortest period of sun for the year.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow it starts getting longer again, so I'm all about that.
Oh, me and you both.
So you get through today, and then things get better.
Yeah. That's right. It'll start just improving. And, you know, it's before long, we're going to be sitting talking about how hot it is outside and stuff.
I can't wait.
Seriously, you know, look how fast this year's gone.
Yeah.
Wow, here we are already. You know, we're at Christmas time.
Last weekend before Christmas.
Yeah.
There must be, I don't know where one's at today. There's hardly any traffic. It's kind of interesting.
I think Springfield Schools is
They're out.
They're out.
Yeah.
So that makes a little bit of difference. And I think people have already started their holiday early.
Could be. I just hope they're all done with their grocery shopping, because after the show I got to go get some groceries, and I hope the mob's not at the grocery store when I get there, but it could be.
You know, last night I went to the grocery store, needed a few things, and it was quite busy. And when I left my office about 5:30 last night, and it came up Glenstone, and traffic was backed up from the front entrance there to the Battlefield Mall, all the way back up to the stoplight at Glenstone and Battlefield, just waiting to turn in the mall.
You have really got to want to go to the mall this time of year.
You got to really want to go there.
Yeah.
And so hopefully everybody's going to the mall, not the grocery stores for yourself.
That would work for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to the mall.
Yeah. Me neither.
So I'm done with that.
Yep,
So
that's right. Me and you both done with all that. So, well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO, and we're going to have a great show today. We got a lot to talk about, and as Gary said, we have Nathan Pearson in here, so we're going to talk a little heating and air.
Absolutely.
More heating than air, I'm sure, today,
Yeah.
and everything that's going on there. But you can call us, and we urge you to call in.
yes,
And
we do.
The number's 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. So it's a free call for no matter where you are. And something we've just started doing, which has worked pretty good, if you want to send us a text message, ask your question. You know, a lot of people don't like to talk on air. You know,
Sure.
they're shy or whatever.
Sure.
You know, kind of like me. You know,
Yeah,
kind of
and me,
shy
yeah.
and you and stuff. So, so you can send me a text message and we'll read your question over the air, and you can do that at 417-838-3192, and we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. You know, it makes the show a lot more fun when we have people call in or text questions or that type of thing. And I encourage you, if you have any questions about your heating and air conditioning system, today is the day, because I have the technical expert with us here today. I'm not the technical expert. And sometimes people ask questions and I can answer a few
Sure.
of them. But if you have a situation or something going on, Nathan's here and he'll be able to answer those questions for you. So whatever you have going on, now's the time to get the answer.
That's right. That's right. So give us a shout or a text, and we'd love to hear from you. And we talked a little bit about this off air, Nathan. Question I had, and I'd always heard this, but nobody had ever really answered the question why. You know, we have days like, for instance, at our office, it gets pretty warm in there when we got a nice sunshiny day. Now it may be 30 degrees outside, but it's hot inside.
Right.
So first thing I want to do is I want to turn the air conditioner on. Not a good thing.
On commercial equipment, a lot of times we'll put head pressure controls to kind of help those units run along in the wintertime. It actually shuts out the outdoor fan motor till it reaches a set pressure,
Right.
and lets the fan come back
Sure.
on, keeps it from freezing up.
Right, but in your home, you wouldn't want to on this
Right,
residential
most houses
equipment.
we don't. There's some people that like to run their air conditioner all the time, and then we'll put the commercial controls on those. People with medical issues. When it's warmer in a house than it is outside, the air conditioner's going to freeze up, and then you're going to, have water everywhere and no airflow and everything else. And you're going to cause all sorts of problems.
Okay.
It'll really damage the compressor.
Okay. So now, will actually the coil inside the unit freeze up,
Correct.
or
Yeah,
okay?
it becomes a big block of ice.
Okay.
Then the blower's trying to blow over that, and of course you're not moving any air. You're going to hurt your motor. You're going to hurt your outdoor compressor and everything else.
Okay.
So there is certain situations on residential homes we do put those in for people with, has to have it cool in the
Sure.
house.
Okay.
So I actually worked on a air conditioner on a house Wednesday. Yep, in my coat and gloves.
Really?
So we put some head pressure controls
Yeah.
on them, got them up and going.
So the best thing to do if you're a little warm and you need to cool down is crack a window a little bit.
You
get a
know,
little airflow through
open
like
the
that.
door.
Open the door.
Especially around Christmas time, you get the family together and friends, and everybody's in the kitchen, and it gets hot, and somebody goes
And you're
over
cooking
there
and
Yeah.
and kicks on the air conditioner to try to cool it down.
Yeah.
Then you're going to freeze up that
Mm-hmm.
unit.
Right.
So and
Yeah,
we get that a lot.
yeah, it would be better just to crack a window or something. Maybe like a lot of people have a window over their sink or something, and that way you can get that heat out of that kitchen just by cracking that window a little bit and not turn the air conditioner on.
Right.
So.
What are some good things that people need to be doing right now to prevent their furnace from going out when we do have these days of sub-zero temperatures that's going to be coming up? We're going to have them.
Absolutely. Well, the most important thing is maintenance. People get home at night. Like last night, I got several calls for heat, and it's always the people that don't do preventative maintenance. It's going to be nights when they're home, or weekends, or it seems to be, you get everybody together. That's when you're going to have an issue.
Oh, yeah.
It happens every year.
Yeah.
I've worked every Christmas for several years now.
Pretty much. He'll
People
get called
that
out
do
on
that
Christmas Day.
preventative maintenance prevents so many problems. Plus, you get it cleaned and safety checked and everything else. So,
Very important to do.
absolutely.
We talk about
You
that a
wouldn't want
lot.
to go on a
Yes.
long car trip if you hadn't changed your oil for 10,000 miles.
No, probably wouldn't.
So you probably don't want to try and live in your home in the winter without your furnace being checked out and know that it's working properly. As a matter of fact, we went and Nathan had to go look at a furnace the other day. We talk about cracks in heat exchangers and stuff and how
Right.
important it is to make sure that it's safe to use. Well, they had 2 large cracks in their heat exchanger. So, it's just important to make sure that it's safe to operate. And I know that with the economy, sometimes money's tight and, people are having to budget and some things you just have to kind of let go. But
Sure.
that's something that really isn't that expensive to have done. And if you don't have it done, then you could end up having a bigger bill down
Right.
the road. So, and it's not too late to do that. Some people think, well, the season's already started. I've already started my furnace. It's not too late to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You
We
can
have a
still
lot of
have it.
people call and want maintenance when it gets really cold outside.
Yeah.
So in
Right.
January, we still do lots of maintenance. February.
Sure. We got a caller. We got Tom, Rockaway Beach. Go ahead, Tom. Are you there,
I have
Tom?
a question for. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Hi. I have a question. Is it Nathan?
Yes.
Who's okay? I have a question for him. I have a older thermostat in my house. It's probably I'm guessing 14 or 15 years old, and I would. It's just one with the levers to control your heat and everything. And I wanted to put a new thermostat, a digital thermostat in it.
Okay.
And I have only 2 wires hooked up to the old thermostat, a red one and a white one.
So you have
And-
just heat only in your house, no air conditioning?
We do have air, and it all works off of this thermostat, but it only has the white and the red wire hooked up to it, and the green and the yellow are kind of like folded up and into the wall. And my question is, if I put that new digital thermostat in there, would it be all right to hook up those other 2 wires to that thermostat?
No, green and yellow are ones for fan and ones for air conditioning. They must have some different type of wiring. Is it a really old furnace?
Yes.
Okay, that's why it's wired like that.
Okay.
What you could probably do is the biggest thing is shut the power off to your furnace, and you don't want to hook up that yellow and green because they've got it wired probably through a series of relays down there at the furnace.
Okay.
So what you want to do, real important, shut the power off to that furnace, then put your new thermostat on, hook up your red and white,
Okay.
and you should be good to go. If there's
Okay.
a jumper wire between RC and RH, you're going to want to pull that out of there. On most digital thermostats, they'll have that in there.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. I appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling.
All right.
Appreciate the call, Tom. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or send me a text at 417-838-3192.
There you go. Lots of ways to communicate on the show.
There is.
We're just getting so high tech now.
I tell you
Texting
what,
and everything.
we're techie around here now.
I think you just learned about a year ago how to text
I
Mom.
just learned. Yeah, thank you, Nathan. Yeah, I really didn't do much texting at all, but I've had to learn, and I'm still really slow at it, and I'm not very good at it, but I'm getting there.
It's amazing nowadays. That's one of the topics that I talk about the coffee shop every now and then. There's about 5 or 6 of us. I'd love to just bring them all in here because the stories, the information that you would hear would just be unreal. But anyway, we were talking. There's a couple guys there at the coffee shop that don't text. I mean, totally don't. We was talking about the other day, about technology and stuff. And I just have completed a real estate deal. I've never met the agent face to face. I've talked to her on the phone maybe twice, but everything has been done via
Email.
text and email.
Yeah.
Isn't
that crazy?
She's busy, I'm busy, so we send text to each other asking questions, and we email the papers to each other. We've still never met face to face, but the transaction's pretty much done.
That's
that's just the way
wild.
it is.
Yeah, it is.
And so now, if you don't text or stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's
You
My
gotta catch
oldest
up.
daughter,
Yeah.
I mean, she'll hardly talk on the phone. I'll call and leave
Yeah.
a message, and when she gets it, she'll text me. I
Text
said,
you.
why don't you just call me?
Yeah, I still know how to talk. I can answer the phone.
yeah. Speaking of phones, we have another call. George here in Springfield. Go ahead, George.
I called a week ago and confirmed the fact that this new EPA ruling is going to require a different and newer and better furnace if the one you have ceases to operate. But my concern is, do I understand it correctly that in addition to having to upgrade the efficiency of the furnace, it has to be relocated to the perimeter of the house. Is that correct?
No. What's going on with the new furnaces? The old furnaces, the 80% is what they called them, were ran out in a metal flue pipe, a B-vent pipe. The new furnaces require a PVC flue pipe, a 3-inch PVC that'll either go out the roof or they can go out horizontally, through the brick or the side of the house if you're in a basement or something. The problem we get into with some houses is we can't get the flue pipe out without cutting holes in, walls to rooms and everything else. But you don't have to upgrade that furnace until your furnace goes bad.
Yes, I understand that. And I have no issue with upgrading to a better quality, efficient furnace. But the literature that I have received refers to the fact that it has to be relocated to the perimeter of the house. That's what threw me a curve.
No, absolutely not. I've read through all that, and I'm trying to. I don't remember anything about that, but no, the furnace does not have to be relocated. It's the flue pipe. It's the only issue we're having with the new ones.
Okay.
Which
right.
95% of the houses, it's not a problem. It's that 5% that are going to have problems.
Okay, that answers my concern. Thank you very much.
Thanks, George.
Appreciate that. 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or text at 838-3192. And we'll answer your question. That's a good question. Things are going to change.
And our industry's changing all the time, constantly changing.
Yeah. And, it really, to me, that's for the good. There's a lot of old furnaces, as still out there. And I know it's going to be kind of a problem when something does go wrong, you have to change. But, boy, if a person really thinks about it, putting a good 90% or whatever they're requiring, and that's going to be nice. It's going to be nice on your utility bill and all the way around.
It makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
And, what we find in most of these houses we go into, that are over 20 years old, the furnace is so oversized anyway.
Sure.
So you get the proper size furnace and something that's efficient in there, it just makes night and day difference.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you can replace the whole system at once.
Sure. So the old saying, bigger is better, is not necessarily true.
Absolutely not. And that's why there's so many heat exchanger failures. Is because, it's overheating so bad, then it shuts off, cools down, overheats, cools down.
Uh-huh.
And that's what's cracking these heat exchangers, and that's where people get into problems with carbon monoxide.
Right. And that's something you don't want to have to deal with right there. So we got Roger and Branson on the phone. Go ahead, Roger.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
I have an apartment building, and the area that they built for the furnace, and then they put a water heater in there too. So I call it Ozark engineering, where you put the furnace in, and then you put the electric water heater on top of it, so it can leak down into the furnace if it has a problem, So, but regardless, they're getting some years on them, and they don't meet the criteria. They're electric, and they don't meet the criteria for efficiency. So as I go along to exchange these for new ones, I run into cabinet problems, for being able to house them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all electric where you're at?
Right.
Because the new standards are with the gas furnaces.
I understand, but that's what I was getting at, are the efficiencies going to cover the electric furnaces as well?
Well, the minimum on electric, then you're getting, do you got heat pumps and air conditioners or straight electric heat and air?
Well, I have resistant electric heat, and I have air conditioning units. These are 20 years old, and my energy audit for my apartments is $42 a month.
Okay.
So I have a very well-built building, and my utilities are low by comparison to my competitors. This is some of the unintended consequences that it gobbles other people up that are already in good shape. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. What you're going to get into when you're going to have to start replacing those air handlers is they're going to have an R22 evaporator coil in them. R22 we don't put in anymore. So, whenever you go to replace an air handler, you're going to have to replace an air conditioner with it so it matches the 410A systems.
That's my problem. See, when I change the coil, it doesn't fit the cabinet anymore, and they don't,
Absolutely. So the new coils are a lot bigger, along with the air conditioner.
it's almost as expensive to change a coil, as it is to change a furnace anymore.
Absolutely.
But I'm just wondering if I'm thinking of going to the old motel package units, so, and I just gained a pantry.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yeah,
and,
absolutely.
Well,
then the water heater can
you
leak onto the canned goods. So.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's better than having it leaking into your furnace. I mean, it's not
you bet.
quite as much of a hazard. So, if it's hot water, then maybe Anyway, I was just kind of thinking out loud on the thing. When you get estimates upwards of $100,000 to change all of it out to modernize it, you can't get the rent to support the upgrade because everybody expects heat. It's kind of like putting a new roof on your house. Everybody expects your house to have a roof that doesn't leak, so you're not really going to get any more money for the house because you put a new roof on it.
Exactly.
It's not one of those things that you can recover from financially, and with the market the way it is, I just don't see making that investment, at least not at this time, So there are just a lot of unintended consequences to other people when I support all this conservation effort and what have you, but there's one thing I learned from living on the West Coast. The more you save in energy, the more your energy is going to cost you, because those utility companies have a cost of operation, and some of them have stockholders to satisfy. So the less you use may cost you more per kilowatt hour because you use less of it.
Right.
So keep that in mind as you're out beating your conservation drums,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you have a good day.
Thanks, Roger.
Appreciate the call.
Yeah, that's true. And I was talking to someone, I can't remember if it was my parents or who it was, but anyway, there's some utility companies that if you don't use a minimum amount, there's a base bill that you pay.
Right.
So what he's talking about is correct. They, like he said, they have to be able to maintain their cost of living or cost of business operations.
Sure.
So, and there's some utility companies that do have that in place. If they have a minimum amount you're going to pay for whether you use that or not.
Sure.
There's a gas service charge in a lot of areas just to have that meter on the house.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of ways where they're going to, like he said, they're going to make up the more efficient things you get and the less money they're going to make, then they're going to find little ways to keep that revenue coming in. But still, overall, I think a higher efficient system, for one thing, a lot of times you're more comfortable with it. Like if we do like the variable speed motors and
the two-stage furnaces. And another big thing a lot of people overlook a lot of times is to seal up and insulate the ductwork in the crawl space. I get, people, besides putting in new equipment, when we go out and do that, people are just amazed the difference.
Right.
Well, that heat transfers to cold, so, your crawl space is real cold. You're trying to push all that hot air through. It just, the air around that ductwork just absorbs all that heat.
Sure.
So your crawl space is generally nice and warm. So,
right.
But, that makes a huge difference.
Well, another important thing, too, and I just had this done at my house not too long ago, had one of our handymen who works for our company come over. I said, I've got a couple heat ducts that I'm just not getting much air out of, and I get a lot of cold air through it. And so he came over, crawled under the house, and checked. Sure enough, I had some ductwork that was almost down, and so he put all my ductwork back up for me and retaped the joints and everything, sealed it up. Made a difference. Even though it's non-insulated ductwork, it's on a house that was built in the early 70s, but it did make a difference. And I think that's really important for the folks who do have crawl space houses to check.
And there's
that.
a lot that have crawl spaces in this area.
Oh, yeah.
And most people don't go under their house. I don't go under mine,
I don't
I've been under yours.
Well, that's your job, honey. But yeah, he takes care of all that. But a lot of people don't go under their house, so you don't know if you have something that's come apart or laying loose or laying on the ground, and
that's right.
That causes issues. So.
That's right, absolutely. So very important to check, and I don't, I used to go under my house all the time. I used to go under a lot of houses. But
got
seems
over
like
that, did you?
The older you get and you go through heart surgery and everything, you don't bend around as well, so I choose to just let somebody else do
there
it.
You go. There you go.
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. So, well, we need to take a little break.
We do, but please stay with us, and we'll be right back shortly and answer some more of your questions.
That's right. hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.
Here's news on the Ozarks News Network. A police standoff has ended at a home on Springfield's west side. It started at a convenience store at College in Kansas when a man tried to steal alcohol and fought with a clerk. He fled to a home near Mount Vernon and Wabash where police surrounded the house. He surrendered after a 2-hour standoff and has been charged with felony burglary for an earlier incident and misdemeanor stealing. The uncle of a murder victim from Willard has now been charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. 68-year-old Robert Campbell of Willard is charged along with 4 others in the 2011 deaths of Russell and Becky Porter. And the owner of a former Branson West tourist attraction has been charged with the sexual abuse of 2 teenage boys. 46-year-old Breck Wakefield owned and operated Predator World. The 2 victims were 13 and 16 when Wakefield allegedly began abusing them. The abuse went on for several years. For the Ozarks News Network, I'm Arlen Summers.
You see and hear ad after ad about owning gold, but they raise more questions than they answer. That's why American Bullion has created a comprehensive free gold guide packed with unbiased information about gold as an investment. Get the facts before you buy. Call American Bullion now for your free copy of the Gold Guide at 800-716-6878. That's 800-716-6878. Are you tired of stressing out about the economy and ready to take control of your retirement funds? American Bullion has a precise, tax-free, and hassle-free system to convert your existing IRA or former 401k into a gold IRA. That's why they're the leader in gold IRA rollovers. It's all spelled out in the free American Bullion Gold Guide that answers all of your questions in plain and simple English. Call for your free copy today at 800-716-6878. 800-716-6878. American Bullion. 800-716-6878.
This is Larry Dablemont inviting you to tune in to KWTO Radio every Sunday morning for a brand new outdoor program in which we'll be talking about all aspects of the outdoors. I hope you'll join us. 8 a.m. Sunday, KWTO Radio.
Larry Dablemont's Outdoors is brought to you in part by Farmers Insurance Agent Mark Powell and Hoover & Associates Real Estate.
Sunny for today, not as cold by the afternoon, high of 44, mainly clear tonight, low 27. It'll be sunny and warmer as we start the weekend tomorrow, high of 54, low again 27 for tomorrow night. We will see some sunshine on Sunday, high of 52. Sunny for your Christmas Eve on Monday, high of 42. Snow is possible for Christmas Day on Tuesday. I'm AccuWeather's Jason Lord.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof it leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, you need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions. And we are back with the second part of Home Repairs and Solutions.
This is where you guys were going to do some caroling, right?
Yes. Mary will lead the singing today.
Thanks, Nathan.
But yeah, hey, you know.
They don't want me to sing, I can assure you.
Oh, I bet you can sing.
You're the singer of the group, Mark. You should have brought your banjo. We could have done something fun.
Well, yeah, I could have brought the whole band in here, you know.
Well, that would have been different.
Well, yeah, you know, hey, we could have just all
We'll have to plan that.
up and
played. There you go.
Yeah.
Just drag them all in here and we'd do something fun.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, we are, we got invited to, you know, still do, well, it's not really rehab anymore. It's just kind of a maintenance, you know, from the heart surgery and everything. Yeah. But I still go to the Hammons Heart Institute over there and work out 3 times a week. And what my bass player he happens to go there. He had some health issues, so they're having him go through the program, and so he's over there. Gene, my friend, that he works over there at Mercy. Of course, drives a shuttle van, and he's had a heart valve replaced and stuff. And then a guy who plays music with us, he also has had open heart surgery, so he's gone to the Heart Institute. And so they invited us to bring everybody up and play music for them some Saturday morning. So
fun.
yeah,
There
so,
you go.
So I'm trying to think of a name we can call our band, and we got to make it something about the heart.
I was going to say, it needs to be, heartbeat bluegrass or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we are going to do that. So that'd be kind of fun.
That will be fun.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to let us know when that's happening. Is it just for the people there, or can anyone show up? They probably don't want the general public crowding in there.
Probably not. But I could probably get you in, Mary. So.
Well, I could walk on a treadmill or something while I'm listening to you. So
yeah, no doubt.
That'd be all right.
But Merry Christmas, everybody. I don't think we've mentioned that.
Absolutely.
Christmas is here. And,
next Tuesday.
Next Tuesday.
This is our last show before Christmas.
Yep. And so want to wish all of our listeners a very Merry Christmas and
absolutely
Happy New Year. Next week's show, it's just going to be me and you. We're just going to talk about the whole year. It's been an interesting year. And so
a lot of great guests on.
Yes.
We're just going to reminisce a little bit.
Yes, we are. It'll be the Mark and Mary show next week, and looking forward to that. I just want to touch on this, Mary, because I know we got a lot of listeners out there that are concerned and have showed their concern for what all's gone on with Spring Mountain Air this past year. Just want everybody to know yins are still doing everything that you used to do, and that's providing the great service and continuing on with the company over there. And so just wanted to mention that to folks that Spring Mountain Air is going strong.
Yeah, we're very blessed. Paul did a great job. He left us a great company.
Yep.
He started turning the reins over to Nathan several years ago, and so we are able to continue on.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Yeah.
We have hard days.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But we had to make the decision is what we're going to do, and we decided that we were going to continue with the business.
Sure.
We have employees that we're responsible for, and their families. We have clients we're responsible for, and we take that responsibility very seriously.
Yes, absolutely.
So.
And Nathan is doing a fantastic job.
Yes, he is. He's doing an amazing job, and we're going to continue on and just see what happens.
Yep, absolutely.
But I'm confident that we're going to be able to be around for a long time and continue to help people.
Well, I like to say I am just so pleased to be a part of. I feel like a part of the family.
You are. You are
and,
part of the family.
And I appreciate that so much.
And that's why we look forward to doing the Oldest Hottie contest again. We'll raise money for the Breast Cancer Foundation again.
Yeah.
And,
absolutely.
So we'll still do the neat things that we've done in the past that we've worked on, and so it's a family affair. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Meet more of the great listeners to this program and everything else. So.
Yeah. So
we do. We have wonderful. We get new clients almost every day, and the majority of them have heard us on the radio.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that so much, and it's just great to meet new people, especially our listeners.
We
have such great listeners, and they've been very kind and to my son and I, and when we were having, it's difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah,
and,
it is.
They call and have kind things to say, and we still get cards and things like that. So
that's cool.
But that's why. That's one of the reasons I wanted Nathan to come on the show today, because I felt like it was important that people knew that we're still out there, making people warm and happy in the winter.
Warm and happy.
Absolutely.
Making them smile.
And cool and happy in the summer.
Yeah, making them smile.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's some of the things that I haven't touched on for a while here on the show, but we get questions once in a while as if someone needs a system or needs a service call or whatever it is, they want to know how they can pay for it.
Sure.
And there's lots of ways. We're real flexible. We take cash. People still have cash.
Really?
I don't know, but some people still have cash.
When I first started, I used to get a lot of cash.
We did.
Really?
We got a lot of cash.
Yeah, it's been about 18 years. I've been doing service now. It used to be a lot of cash, and then it kind of went checks and a lot of credit cards, and now we're back to checks and cash a lot, it seems.
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
But we take MasterCard and Visa. We have our Smile plan. We just sold was it just a furnace the other day?
We just set 2 people up on that.
On a Smile plan this week. You know, right now money's kind of tight, and
Sure,
but
it
people have
is.
to have heat. You have to have heat in
Yeah.
your home, and so we've put a couple of them in just
Mm-hmm.
recently, and the people are using the Smile Plan program. We're more than happy to do that for folks.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or if you need a longer term than 6 months, you know,
Mm-hmm.
CU Community Credit Union is doing an amazing job.
They've been excellent.
We
Yeah.
can send our clients to them, and we're pretty much out of it. You know, they make the agreement with CU Community Credit Union, and they call us and say they're approved. We put it in, and then CU pays us, and it's just, you know, we don't get into all of the private
Sure.
personal information with our clients and all that.
Yeah.
They take care of that. They're the financial
Yeah.
company. We're not, you know,
Yeah.
we're a heating and air conditioning
Yeah.
company. So, and it works out really well for our clients.
And
so.
they are great to work with over
They
there,
are
too.
wonderful to work with.
Yeah.
I've put quite a bit of my stuff over to them, and it's just been quick,
Yeah.
easy.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it just
You know, we
great
had
rates. They're just wonderful.
Sure, we had them on, you know, back earlier
Yes.
in the year. Well, matter of fact, early last year, because it was before I did my my heart surgery, and as soon as I got through the surgery and kind of recouped, I needed a new pickup
Uh-huh.
or newer
Yeah.
pickup. I went to CU Community Credit Union, and Stephanie over there has taken great care of me.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the folks
she's-
over there are so nice.
They are.
And easy to work with.
Yeah, they are. And they're local.
Yes.
That's a local credit union.
Yeah.
So, you know, we like to promote local
Sure.
on our
Oh,
show here.
absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
you will be able to always walk in and talk to someone face to face. They'll answer your questions. I
Yeah.
mean, and they are very, very nice.
Yes, they are.
They're wonderful to work
Yep.
with. They're
Yep.
part of our community. You know, they're great folks down
Yep,
there. So
they are, definitely are. So 862-9977, 1-800-375-0056, or text us at 417-838-3192. If you have a question, we would love to hear from you. And we've had some good calls so far today.
We
and,
have.
And so yeah, give us a shout. We want to hear from you. You want to know what's going on.
yes, we do. Or you could, if you just want to call and wish us a Merry Christmas, that's okay
right.
too.
Yeah. Yeah. Or, you know, if you want to bring homemade baked goods by the studio, we'll be here for another 20 minutes or so. And if you're coming, I'll wait. You
There
know,
we go.
I'll
Yeah.
hang around and wait.
We'll-
if you
we'll
bring
hang
us
around,
something.
yeah.
So,
You know, one of the questions I got just not too long ago, I had someone call in. They were asking me about, you know, should they or should they not cover up their air conditioner?
mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
We're
Son?
both looking at Nathan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple different ways. Cover it up. Obviously, it's going to keep it clean, keep the leaves out
Sure.
of it. But on the other hand, you have a moisture issue. You're going to trap that moisture in there. Air conditioners are made of metal. You're going to start rusting the bottom of that out.
Okay.
I personally, I don't cover my air conditioner because I clean
Right.
it in the spring before
Yeah.
I start out. I mean, that's the
Right.
big thing. You want to go out there and get it cleaned. But yeah, I know a lot of people that'll cover it and then it starts rusting a little quicker. A lot of our newer equipment's powder coated, so you can cover it and it's not going to be such an issue.
Yeah.
One big thing is remember to take the cover off. I get that call every year.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
They start up with the cover on and oops.
And,
They don't work so well that way.
Yeah. And if you cover it, would it be more of a haven for mice and
Absolutely.
stuff like that?
Yeah. Because we do a lot of maintenance for people that cover it, and there'll be a lot of
Yeah.
insects and mice nests. And
You know, it's a
Dead
it's a
mice.
Yeah, it's a protectant for the outdoor critters. It
Sure.
gives them a place to get in, and so there's good and bad. Like Nathan said, we've never covered ours either. It just didn't seem like it was.
Right.
It's not that it's not necessary really,
Sure.
and
it's
like
not
you
good on a heat pump. So yeah.
no. Since
Well,
you
no,
run
I
the heat
could
pump
say,
in the
yeah.
winter, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely do not
absolutely.
cover your heat pump.
Yeah.
No, it would not be a
So.
good idea. You know, something else I've seen folks do is they'll build a little shed over it or something like that, you know, thinking that, I mean, is that a good thing or
You
not?
can
or?
build a sun cover above
Uh-huh.
it, you know, because a lot of times that sun it makes
Oh,
a
yeah.
big difference.
Sure.
But you need to do it at least 3 foot above the unit
Okay.
because that air's got to circulate.
Sure.
Another problem I see all the time is people don't want the air conditioner to be seen. They'll plant shrubs and stuff all the way around it. Well, that thing's got to breathe all the way
Sure.
around it. You start putting them bushes in there, you're going to make it less efficient.
And they got to
You're gonna
realize
really
that it
start-
does have to be serviced too, and y'all have to be able to get into it.
I've cut out a lot of bushes.
Yeah,
So-
I'm sure.
Well, and as they grow, unless you're going to trim them and keep them trimmed around, you know, that's going to grow into the unit too
Yeah.
if you're not really paying attention.
You can
Yeah.
plant them around there. Like you said, there needs to be a spot the service tech can get in there. But if you're going to plant something, you really need stuff about 18 inches away from it.
Okay.
So you want that thing to be able to draw real well through those coils.
Yep. Good point there.
We do see that a lot.
Back to air
You
conditioning.
know, between that and another one of my big pet peeves I see this time of year quite often is the old trash bag over the wind turbine on the roof.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I
Yeah.
just want, I said this so many times.
I know.
about I just want to go walk up to the door, knock on the door, say, "What are you thinking about? Take them things off there."
Yeah.
But you know, you see that, and you don't need that. You shouldn't have to have that on there.
I remember one of Dad's biggest pet peeves when I was younger. We'd see an air conditioner that was out of level. If it was the same brand
Yeah,
we were
and
selling,
I was getting ready
if it
to
was the
bring
same
that
brand we
up,
were
yes.
selling, we would get out, go level it up, even though it wasn't our unit, just because it just drove him crazy.
Yeah.
So
And-
brand new install, an air conditioner sitting
crooked,
4 inches out of level.
And you know, a lot of times, like on our new construction, you know, the ground settles a little bit and stuff.
Sure it does.
How important is that to have those level?
It's more for looks than anything. I mean, you can be an inch, 2 inches off. That oil in the compressor's not going to make that big of a difference, but you've got to have it really out of kilter to make a difference. It's just the looks of it.
But wouldn't it stress your
line sets,
lines and stuff
not
a little
not
bit?
really.
If it was, okay.
That's soft copper. It's
gonna move with it, but
yeah.
But it's just more looks. It
is
stuff like that. Yeah, I understand. Understand, you know.
Yeah.
Well, and you don't want to have a brand new house and then your air conditioner's all cattywampus. And
no.
But like you say, when you set those, there is a period of time, especially in new construction, where it's going to settle a little bit.
Right.
You know, and sometimes some people, if they are able to do it, you know, sometimes they can lift a little bit and level it themselves. But
Sure.
but we go out occasionally. We have people call and want us to come out and level things or stuff like that. Just because, like you said, the looks of it just looks goofy.
Yeah.
If it's not level.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yep. Hey, you know, the caller that I think it was Tom that called earlier today that's having an issue on a thermostat.
Yeah.
How hard is it if, say, I want to go to the local hardware store and buy me a new thermostat? Is that a job that the homeowner can do, or should they call a professional to do it?
You know, if you've got a little bit of electrical experience, you can do it. I get a lot of calls on nights and weekends, people trying to put in their own thermostats.
Right.
And because usually a lot of these new thermostats, they can be set up for several different types of units, and they don't get them set up right.
Right.
Or they blow out a transformer, or fuse, or control board, and that professionally installed thermostat would have been a lot less expensive.
A lot less expensive, sure.
Right. So, but I mean, they're not hard. Usually they're only 4 or 5 wires, and just make sure the power's off.
Okay. So make sure the power's off and just read the instructions.
Yeah. Yep. So read the instructions. It goes pretty easy.
Is the new thermostats a lot better than the old T87Fs or whatever they used
those
to be?
Mercury ones?
Yeah, those Mercury ones. I mean,
yeah. The Mercury's always, they're about at minimum 2 to 3 degrees off anyway. And it also, that Mercury, if it jumps back and forth, it'll short cycle the system.
Okay.
Where the new ones, you know, if it goes off then comes back on or tries to, there'll be a delay in it. It helps protect the compressor on the air conditioner.
Okay.
And short cycling the furnace and everything else. Plus, it's accurate. That most of them are within a half degree of accuracy.
Okay. And the programmables, of course, you know, you can get them that's got all the bells and whistles on it.
We got ones that'll tell you outdoor temperature, humidity. You can call from your cell phone, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So change the temperature in your house. We got some systems that we can hook up and, even program our office phone number in it. So your furnace would call our office to let it know it was having a problem.
Really?
Yeah. I haven't had that happen yet, but I can't imagine me calling a homeowner telling them their furnace wasn't working because they just called me.
Because the thermostat calls. But, really, like Nathan said, our industry is changing so quickly, and it's really, really getting to be a pretty it's just really high tech. I mean, you can get some high tech stuff if you want to.
We have to go to classes all the time just to stay up with everything.
Yeah. Education all the time. But,
But that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta know, and then and not everyone needs their thermostat to be that high tech, But
Sure.
you do have a few people out there. I know several years ago, there was a gentleman in town that had a business, and he had a home in I think Cooper Estates, and we hooked up his system and all that so he could operate his home and everything from his computer at work. So if he wanted to change something or do something while he's at work, if he's going to go home early, then he could go on his computer. Remember that?
Yeah.
And he was a real high-tech kind of guy and wanted all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've done any more than that or not. But that's been several years ago. So that was really, that was quite the thing back then.
Oh, I'm sure.
And we said all that because he operated everything from his computer at work. So it was interesting.
Wow.
He could do all kinds of things, yeah.
That is interesting.
We even have ports on these new furnace boards and some air conditioning boards where you have to hook up a laptop. Because
Really?
it's just a big control board. There's not all the parts in them anymore.
To diagnose it
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. Kind of like cars now. You know,
Yeah,
you take your car
yeah.
in and they have to hook it on a computer to do the diagnostics.
Sure.
And our industry is headed that direction.
Yeah.
So,
Well, in the old days, probably before you was around, Nathan, but, if your car didn't run, you had usually two issues. You wasn't getting gas, you wasn't getting fire. So you had, you could look at it, see, okay, are my plug wires fine, or my distributors, my, is it the coil, or, something like that. So it's pretty simple, or the fuel pump ain't working.
Yeah.
Now it's so different. I can't work on cars nowadays. There's no way. And it's getting to be the same way with your
Absolutely.
heating and air.
Yeah. So.
yep, it sure is.
But you're young
Well,
and
a lot
into
of
that,
a lot of times I see, where a new system, I think it was last week I was out on one. You really want to make sure if you have a new system put in, the dealer knows how to put it in and set it up. I run
Right.
into that all the time where I
Sure.
have to go set something up for somebody that didn't
Yeah.
quite get it installed properly.
Well, us old guys, it's just tougher for us to learn than you young fellas.
It's not just hooking up the gas and power to them anymore.
Sure.
Yeah, it can be a lot more complicated.
You got to
than
set
that.
them up for each house.
Right.
Yeah.
And nowadays, with the bigger houses that we're building, you have all kinds of different zones, and I don't see how you guys keep up with it.
So. Well, we just do.
We just go to school.
Yeah.
Go to school.
Just go to school.
Yep, that's right. So.
It's called continuing education.
Well, hey, I have to do continuing education for the real estate.
I know you do. I know you do.
Because there's, stuff changes constantly in
Absolutely.
that. And so,
Yeah, absolutely.
But, it's nice to have people like you and like Jeremy that...
Jeremy, actually, yes, with Energy Wise.
With Energy Wise, because he keeps up on all the, new things to help us save energy. He comes out to our houses and looks and says, hey, you guys need to do this, you need to do that. And it's great that you all can do that. And it's made, as far as from our side of stuff, from the builder, it makes our life so much easier because
sure.
we build a better home.
Sure.
And, it's just... and so it's better for the homeowner and just all the way around.
He called me the other day to go look at a house and go under a crawl space. I said, you only call me when we have to go under a crawl space.
Oh.
Yeah, we do a lot with Jeremy. He's a great guy, and he's real knowledgeable,
Yeah.
and we work really well with him. So,
Right.
which is great for the homeowner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've done hundreds of projects together by now, me and Jeremy. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes it a lot better, that's for sure, because things are changing from day to day. And, 2013 is going to bring some big changes as far as on your end of the business. And we'll just touch on this real quick before we run out of time. But when a person calls and they have an issue with like my furnace and air conditioner, it's probably 40-some years old. Is parts still readily available, or is it getting less and less?
There's a lot of universal parts. Most likely, I can get a part for it. If it's a bad heat exchanger, you're just going to need a new furnace.
Just going to have to get a new furnace.
Yeah, there's no way. One good
Yeah.
thing about a lot of the newer equipment they're coming out with, it is being built a lot better. The warranties are just phenomenal.
Sure.
You can get a lifetime compressor warranty, lifetime heat exchanger. So where you're not worrying about those cracks and carbon monoxide and getting
Sure.
in your house. And we've had people replace their furnace just for that.
Great. So
Yep.
we are about out of time.
We are. That has been a pretty quick hour.
Yes, it has.
But a fun hour. I thank
Yep.
you for coming and being
Yeah.
on the show with
Yeah.
me today, Nathan. I really appreciate it, and answering all those high tech questions that I don't know how to answer.
That's I had a face for radio. So.
Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions, and we're heard every Friday morning from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO. We'll be back next week. It'll be the Mark and
will.
Mary Show,
It
so
will.
get ready to call in because we want to hear from you or text
Absolutely.
me. And so we'll just have a good time, kind of review what all's happened in 2012 and get ready for 2013.
That's right.
So,
And once again, Merry Christmas, everyone.
yep, Merry Christmas,
Absolutely.
everybody.